And so killing more enemies makes you normal. So
Yeah,
really
so
that makes sense because it quenches his
It depends.
thirst
What is
for-
the enemy? I mean, it's not like humans. He's not often like bystanders. He was killing like monsters and shit, right?
Yeah, no, but he's getting that killing out of his system. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, so then
Once
it
it's out
makes
of the
him
system,
normal
he
again.
becomes Jekyll again.
You know what? You're right. This game is very misunderstood.
I mean,
But
like
how
I
is
said,
the play control fucking sucks, but when you're Hyde, it's good, right?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense for the game. The game doesn't reward you for violence unless you're Hyde, and when you're Hyde, you need that violence to become Jekyll again.
Because you're purging yourself.
Maybe they didn't. They didn't balance
exactly. Because you're purging yourself of this, this need to harm, this what is it, the inner evil? That's what they call it.
Yeah, the inner evil.
Yeah, the inner evil of all mankind, or whatever. That's what the serum does.
That's pretty much what it represents. Is that
well, that's what it was.
The serum.
He made the serum to expose people's inner evil.
And the reference is that this gave power to our true thoughts and intentions. So it really is. It's a knock on like Victorian thought process.
Yeah, well, it's that Victorian era.
We're supposed to be proper, and it's Jane Eyre, it's fucking Frankenstein and Dracula and all that jazz.
Yeah, I mean, it's so I mean, you guys can play it or try to play it.
I didn't download this to play it. I didn't do it. I will.
I mean, honestly, like the fact that I actually was able to beat this game without dying, I think is actually pretty impressive.
This is no death, right?
Yeah, this is no death. Because, I mean, obviously I'm not going to consider dying as Jekyll dead because you're not dead. You're still playing.
We got to tag video game nerd. How can we get video game nerd to fucking pay attention to this? Because we really should do that.
I can.
You have to throw down a challenge, I guess.
I can talk
Not even a challenge. Just say, hey, look, you hated this, but look what our buddy Ryan did.
Well, no, he's actually talked about it too in that sense, but then I think he ended his rant, like the rant that we essentially just had of like the concept of the game, about the rewarding of violence or whatever, all that stuff. He had that rant, and then at the end of the game, or at the end of the rant, he said, "Or the game just fucking sucks," and then that's the end of the video. So. I think he actually does appreciate the game. Honestly, after figuring out how to play it, I think he does appreciate it. I don't think he would ever admit it as far as like, this game is good.
At the end, though, if we did like a thing, could you ask him, bro, do you even lift? bro, do you even lift?
Okay, so, there are two endings to the game, too. One ending is you play as Jekyll and you get to the church, which is at the end of level 6. And that's like the bad ending. The good ending is you play... Well, that's actually another reason why I'm turning into Jekyll as much as... turning into Hyde as much as I am. The good ending, quote-unquote, is when you actually reach the end of the game as Hyde.
Really?
Now, on the surface, that doesn't make any sense because you're not allowed to go further.
Yeah, that seems counterintuitive.
Yeah, because you're not allowed to go further than Jekyll. But... in the game in level 6, Hyde takes a different approach to level 6. He actually jumps over like the seal, the roofing or something. So I think the game, because you're taking a different path than Jekyll, the game doesn't give you a game over. It's only at level 6 because everything else is identical up to the last
fucking
stage.
Insane. That's insane. That's crazy.
So. And I think the reason why beating the game as Hyde is the good ending is because you purge all your evil right before your wedding.
You know what? I'm actually going to take
because you still have to once you beat level 6 as Hyde, you still have to go through the rest of the game as Jekyll to get to your wedding as Jekyll. So I think beating the game as Hyde first is basically killing your demons off right before your wedding, so you're pure for your wedding.
Did the people that make this go on to make all the Bible games, by the way?
No, this was actually Toho. This is the company that made the Godzilla movies.
That makes a lot of sense, then.
Not 2000.
No, 2000 was awful.
That was awful. It was a terrible.
Right, but I'm saying, like, you know how they are about Godzilla and the whole, thing with
You know what? I'm going to go to alt on this one because I think it's a very interesting introspection where, like, video game nerd, it's like, this game sucks, blah, blah, blah. And then if you
but see, what I'm saying, like,
no, if you really sit through this fucking run through, you get it. I see what you're doing. And also, we're obviously doing this thing where you're explaining the whole thing, so it changes everything. But I mean, like, flat out, with you explaining what's going on, game doesn't suck.
The game's interesting, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not a hater.
And challenging. It looks hard as fuck, man. Really.
It really does. It looks very hard. It looks very challenging. And you really matched it up, too. Like, you're in the same spots. So
yeah, I think I'm actually on the same... I'm at the end of level 5.
Same level. You just didn't get to the lady yet.
Yeah.
Well, you're just making... the others.
Well, now I'm just making progress because that lady is the end of the level. So level 6, which you'll see, is really reminiscent of Donkey Kong. you'll see that reference in a second.
I fucking love Donkey Kong.
So
I suck at that too. All Mario games I'm terrible at.
So I'm trying to. I mean, basically, I know I'm at the end of this stage, so I can kind of just hang back and I don't really have to kill enemies yet.
I wanted to ask: is this weapon you're throwing? Is it like 8-gate projectile, or is it?
Oh no, it's one direction at all times. It always shoots at that angle, down left.
I mean, I've seen it bounce all over the screen, so I didn't know if.
Yeah, if it doesn't hit anything, it takes a weird like. It's like it looks kind of like a sine wave from like.
So it's like a Gemini Man laser. It just keeps going and disappears.
Eventually it'll disappear, but it looks more like a sine wave, like those the graph from like trigonometry or whatever. Like it goes like in that weird like wave pattern.
It's such a weird equation. Like the more you kill, that ends you.
Yeah, but it's because you're fulfilling what you need to fulfill.
You're right, but it's a. Now was that a kill or was that just because you got to a certain part?
No, it was because I filled up my meter.
How is that the opposite of where you were? It's so strange. It blows my mind.
All right, so now I'm about to start level 6.
And you want it
on purpose, so you
want to hide up.
Lessen it so when you get to the church, you can not go in, right?
Well, I mean, I actually kind of milked this place for a second. So here's the Donkey Kong section of the game. It's just like endless barrels.
That's hilarious.
And like on top of the barrels, you have like the guy with the bombs. Now this is what makes this part of the game hard. Is like I have to basically maneuver around the bombs and the barrels. If I get hit by a bomb blast pretty much straight up, I completely die. All my meters go away and the game's over. The barrels do random damage to both meters. See, like that time it only took off my life and didn't take any of my Hyde meter. That one just took my Hyde meter. Like it's just different.
I know you said, but maybe it's you get hit once and it does 1 meter once. It does the other meter before it does the first meter twice.
Oh, maybe.
You
could be right. And sometimes the game speeds up for no reason, which is weird. Like that. So now I'm going to turn back. I think this actually might be my last time as Hyde. I don't think I become Jekyl anymore. With the bomb blast,
37 and there's 7 minutes to go.
So with the bomb blasts, if you're away from the detonation, like not in like the harm zone or whatever, you can kind of walk into the blast zone. That's what I was thinking about. You can walk into the blast zone and it'll take a big chunk of your Hyde meter, but not a whole lot of life. That's what I was doing that last time. I was getting just close enough to the bomb to where I wasn't taking an actual full bomb blast. I was just basically getting like the. Okay, yeah. This is the end of the game. All right, so this is level 6. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going. Fighting. And that looks like the weird flame guy from Wampum that I fought.
Does, yeah.
The hard part is that I'm getting scrolled right now. So sometimes when I'm jumping, I'm not trying to jump, which is frustrating. All right, so if you fall down that little pit, you're dead. So here's the last stage of the game for Hyde. See, since you're on the rooftops, I think the game considers it like a different part of the game, so you don't fall under that rule of not getting as far as Jekyl. Because I'm pretty sure I'm already past him. But you go through, just play the game normally. You can only go up to about half the screen, and then it doesn't let you progress anymore. So that's why when I make jumps and stuff.
Yeah, you are like kind of.
Yeah, so when I make jumps, I always try to give myself enough like room so I can hold left and like actually make the jump. Because sometimes you won't make jumps because the game is just scrolling you, and you're not going to make your jump. So you have to kind of play it that way. So you're shooting a lot of
enemies, and I'm noticing it's not chewing up the meter like it used to.
Those orb things don't fix your meter at all. They don't in any portion of the game.
You're just shooting it to get it out of your way.
Yeah, because they shoot stuff. Yeah, they shoot stuff at you eventually. Oh, okay. So you just get rid of them. It's not that big of a deal. Like that flame enemy guy. Like I think if I kill him, I'll move. Like my meter will move.
Would that fuck you up if you like turned to Jekyl?
Yeah, your meter moves.
Yeah, what I would have to do is I would have to become Jekyl again, and I would have
edge, right?
so like this guy. I don't kill. I don't kill on purpose because I don't want to get the meter. I would have to become Jekyl again and just basically start start from where I left off. I'm thinking almost.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So before you get to the church, you would have to do it again, and then you'd start right back here, like in your little paradise first.
Yeah, as Hyde, I would start there again. So yeah, this is the last section of the game, or the level. So, this is why I think you have to become Hyde first is to purge your evil, is because this last boss fight. Because you actually see all my meter goes away. Now I have to fight this guy. Every 3 times I kill him, I get meter.
Oh, okay. So you're working your way back to Jekyl.
Yeah, now I'm actively working my way back to Jekyl. He's just like the boss. So I'm trying to become him.
Battling those inner demons, buddy.
Yep. That's pretty much what it is. And I think the reason why the good ending is playing through the game as Hyde first is to purge your evil before your wedding.
I did that in real life.
Yeah, but then you met me and got into a whole new great evil.
Nah, you came up here and we had fun.
Yeah, just on churches.
Shane had never had Polish food before.
It was awesome. We got to do that again.
All right, so this is the end of the game. This is where I started fist pumping, and I was
look at Shao Kahn. He just
becomes different stuff.
Yeah.
So now, since I've beaten the game as Hyde, I go back. Because according to the game, I became Jekyl again. So I actually become Jekyl again.
As you should.
Okay, curious, and you might not know this one. Like, get hit now. Do you go back to being Hyde, or because you've already beaten it with him, the game's over?
There are no more enemies, is what happened.
Okay. Never mind then.
So now I just, which is kind of annoying. You have to just walk through an empty level.
You're just holding a button. You're just holding forward.
I'm just holding right, and he's.
Now, are there no more enemies because you beat it, or because?
Yeah, it's because I beat it. There's no enemies. Had I turned into Jekyl before, I would have had to have dealt with the barrels and stuff again. So
what we're really getting at is that a lot of people just didn't get this game. And Frank, how is the gameplay? Well, let's talk about that for a second, because I'm annoyed that everybody hated this game, and from what I'm seeing right now, this game is really well thought out and kind of brilliant. Frankly, brilliant. I'm not even gonna. I don't throw that word around very lightly, but brilliant.
I'm very, very curious though. If you would have somehow, from level 1, ran through and beat the entire game as Hyde, would there have been enemies for Jekyl the entire game, or could you just side scroll through?
Well, no, because remember, if you get, except for level 6, if you get to Jekyll's location, you die.
Oh yeah, okay.
So it's impossible to play.
I played a lot of games where fuck you.
So it is impossible to run through as one character all the way and beat the whole damn game.
I think it's possible to run through as Jekyl.
Well, yeah, because you'd never turn into Hyde if you could just jump through everything. But
but
that lady, you got no coins to buy her off. So, yeah, that still wouldn't work.
Well, it would. Well, I mean, because you can. She still sings and stuff, but you can like walk in between them and stuff, walking between her notes.
I would really like to point out how long this is.
Oh yeah, and this is me playing the game like
because you won as the demon.
Because I won as Jekyl first.
Because you won as Jekyl. Like how
shit,
long this just
goes. This is 3 minutes of him walking. This is Incredible Hulk walking away.
Is there a bad ending? Did you do the bad ending? Like, what is it?
All right, so here's the ending. This is the good ending where you get married and you have like your ceremony and stuff, even though you're covered in bird poop and all whatever dirt.
Birds like shit on you and
just
zombies vomit on you. Oh, but by the way, here, baby, I'm gonna finger you now.
And your clothes should be all ripped off from you turning into a massive, horrible monster. Just point that out.
Oh, and now I think it's the Here Comes the Bride music, like playing.
Because every girl in a wedding church has never been fucked before.
All right. Okay, so now they come together and they walk in.
Ugh. That's how I feel.
And then you see the end pop up. Now, I think this is where the game would just the ending would just end here.
Did the demon earn you the good ending?
Yeah, he does.
It's just me, or
isn't that ironic?
Like Mr. Hyde be your best man at your wedding. I'm sorry, I just want to see that.
Yeah, but you're the same person. That's impossible.
I know. I'm just saying. That's when I see that. Like
All right, so that's the end of the normal game. But since I beat the game as Hyde first, you get a cool lightning strike, like a lightning bolt sound, and then you see when it happens. Oh, come on. There you go. And then Hyde shows up and it's all backwards.
Nice.
That's the good ending. So there's Hyde holding a cross, and that's it. That's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde on the Nintendo. Not as bad as everyone says it is.
Straight up,
I think a lot of people.
Game.
Honestly, I think a lot of people really just hated it because the Angry Video Game Nerd hated it.
They gave up.
I'm sure his influence is actually really strong.
Well, see, like the thing is, like, I mean, I played through the whole game, and I had to learn how to play it. So I think me learning how to play the game and explaining it.
He just raged. Right?
Back to this piece of shit.
No, we're going to break the rules. We're going to go after because really, this game actually warrants a little bit of time after. Frankly, a little bit of discussion because you know what? You're right. Angry Video Game Nerd shit all over this game and everybody hated it off the bat.
Yeah. Well, I think it was his first game review he ever did. Maybe
you hated
second.
it. You were like, oh, God, I'm fucking playing Jekyl. Oh, God, it's the worst game ever been.
Well, because I didn't know how to play the game correctly.
But the second you figured it out, like what they were... Frankly, because of your skill and talent, you realized what the people that made the game were going for. And maybe nobody did. Like, really, maybe you're like one of the first people that got the fucking game. What, 20 years later? Right? No, seriously, like what, 20 years later? Not kidding.
Yeah, 88, 25 years, no,
so,
25 years later.
Actually, I think it would be pretty fun to see what Angry Video Game Nerd thinks. Not that he would ever give us the time of day.
Well, I think it would be neat to talk to him as himself, like as himself, not the nerd.
Not even as a piece of
actually just talk to him about the game and say like, hey, what do you really think about the game as a whole? You know what I mean? Like actually get his true thoughts on, not just like, oh, the game sucks.
Yeah,
but I mean, if that's what he feels, then that's what he feels.
And try not to make him feel bad about not beating it. Don't make him feel like he.
No, I'm going to rub it in his stupid face. I worked hard for what I did.
Yeah, no, don't do that. But yeah, like not whipping your dick out and measuring it. More like, we tried this.
No,
and
I would honestly like to get his actual personal take on the game.
You just want to beat him at something. Admit
Well,
it.
no, well, no,
No,
because I beat
admit
him.
it. Admit it. You want
No,
like
because I've already
because you know he doesn't play
because
Street
he
Just
Fighter.
did beat him at something.
No,
No,
Ryan.
because he couldn't beat Cheetah Man either. He couldn't beat the first Cheetah Man game either, and I beat that without dying.
Like Ryan likes us because he's dildoed us in Street Fighter. There's like nothing. He's like, yeah, whatever. You're my bitch. It's a fact.
But see, I think this game is good. I don't think it's like the greatest game. It's not like a classic or anything, but I don't think it's bad.
Ain't no Mr.
Agreed.
Gimmick.
Yeah, it's
No,
definitely
agreed.
not no Mr. Gimmick.
No. I played Mr. Gimmick. It's great.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Oh, such a
And like I
good
said-
game.
And I think a lot of it too is like you're so slow as Jekyll. You're essentially you're useless. You can't do anything. All you can do is avoid.
It
That
just
would
seems
be
like
one of my
there's
biggest
just, like-
complaints. If Jekyll could like power walk.
Yeah,
then-
it's like
then
an
probably
exercise
be-
of fuck you.
Yeah, it would probably be a lot better for people. They wouldn't
It's
give
an
up on him
exercise
so
of
easily.
fuck you.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said in the beginning of the video, and I think I turned I turned you guys on this game not being that bad. But
You actually flipped me, and I'm gonna download it and I'm gonna play it.
you're gonna get frustrated. I can guarantee it. But
Oh yeah, I'll probably spend 5 minutes on it and fuck that. Because I honestly found Mr. Gimmick kind of
Fuck
frustrating.
this fucking piece of shit. I don't care
No,
how smart
seriously.
it is. And that'll be the
I'm
end of
not even gonna bullshit you. I played Mr. Gimmick, and it's brilliant, and it feels good, but it's also very frustrating. It's not easy. It's not like you just pick it up and play it.
well, and that's the thing.
No,
Even with Gimmick, you have to learn how to play the game correctly.
You got to
to
spend some
progress with
time. Gimmick is at least 10 hours.
it. That's a good one.
At least 10 hours. Did you see the stick I did?
The Cammy one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hate it. Hate it.
Are we gonna wrap up before we get on a tangent about your new stick?
Oh yeah, we can end it. So my personal thoughts on the game, I think it's underrated and people need to give it a chance.
Fact.
I understand the frustration factor because trust me, I played this game a lot longer or a lot more than I probably should have. But
I think for the intents and
not
purposes,
bad.
world minus one dot goddamn fucking net.
well, honestly, man, like this is. I mean, I play games. I try to play bad games just to see if they're really that bad. Like Little Red Hood, I thought actually had some promise, and it didn't.
It didn't.
was awful.
And it so lets you down.
Yeah, Little Red Hood was bad. No, really, we watched
But then you
it.
have to beat it because
No.
you don't want to let the game win.
We watched you play it, and frankly, didn't look that bad.
That's
I
just
mean,
'cause
we're an
he was
hour.
playing it, dude.
This is an hour in. I'm actually tempted to make this 2 parts because it's
Well, we can do the rant afterwards. You can do a follow up.
okay. 3 parts. Fuck it. No.
Oh yeah, because the video
Not
is
like it's gonna, not like you're gonna get hate mail from 2 people.
It didn't look. And speaking as somebody that saw the angry video game nerd thing, the way they pitched it, and the way that everybody
Yeah, I
else
still haven't
pitched
seen
it,
that. You're going to send me
as
a link. or
one of
something.
the worst. No, they pitched it as one of the worst games ever made. And when you watch Ryan go through it, not that bad.
Well, see, I think the explanation of how to play the game correctly is what helps.
Well, that's
And the thing with him is like because he did it
you
twice.
didn't play it
Like,
right. You didn't play it right.
Well, but he learned how to play the game. He explains it. Like he actually goes through the explanation of how to play the game and how it works. And
I don't think he didn't explore the
Oh,
subtlety.
he didn't take his own advice?
Yeah, no, he did not.
No,
explore the
I think he just
subtlety
couldn't
like
beat the
Ryan
game.
does.
to be honest with you, I think he just couldn't beat it.
Skill
I
challenge.
think he understood how to play the game. I just don't think he could beat it.
Pff, I could beat him in Street Fighter. He's a pussy. With my pathetic Ryu. Did I tell you about that, Shane? When I was like Ryu and Ryan was watching, and he's like, "Oh God, why didn't you do that? Why didn't you do that?
all
Oh
you
my
do is
God,
just
you're so
sleeping and
terrible.
getting
Why
hit
didn't you
by
do that? Why
everything."
didn't you do that? Why didn't you do that?" It was great.
My win record with Ryu is actually not that bad.
Yeah, you don't play. Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, you can stand on that. Yeah, come play.
Yeah. And see, another game
Come play with the murderers.
I would love to talk about if I could beat would be like I don't know. I kind of want to revisit Punch Out because I got really good at that game. But
I like Punch Out. You want me to ring David? I can do it.
Oh, I would love to because he still.
Yeah, I didn't even.
He does. His bitch ass owes you. He does. He owes you.
And y'all did that, and I wasn't a part of it.
I even gave him the offer of a discount on, because like you could do like half and half on Chili's. Anyway, all right. World-1.net.
World-1.net.
Yes, go.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, not the worst game on the Nintendo.
Fact. Finish it, Ryan. Come on, you started it. Finish it.
Nah, that's it. The game isn't bad.
You got to outro everyone. What the fuck, dude?
Well, hopefully I turned you guys on the game, and we're going to leave you with that. So have a good night.
Who's on it with you?
I don't know. Shane? Are you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, Shane, the kid toucher, and...
Oh, fuck you.
And Kevin, the Jufro kid.
I'm rocking a serious Jufro. Fact. All right.
Just for that, I'm not giving you any more candy.
Why do you have so much candy?
I'll do the real outro. Shut the fuck up. All right.
It's for all the kids.
Because Ryan's a dick. It's world-1.net. This is Kevin. It's been Shane. It's been Ryan. Jekyll and Hyde. It apparently doesn't suck like everybody says.
Not that bad.
We love you. Mwah.